and start by addressing the incident that occurred in January when an APD officer used force against Ms. De'Ara Fields. So there's been considerable discussion about this in the community. I want to kind of walk through the background of what happened. In the investigation that followed, APD's Office of Professional Standards and Accountability determined that the use of force with regard to Ms. Fields did not violate the policy, the use of force policy, that it was objectively reasonable. The Independent Police Auditor's Office and the Civilian Police Oversight Board, in the first case that they reviewed, disagreed with that determination and recommended that that determination be changed, in addition to a number of other recommendations, including engaging in a comprehensive review of the city's use of force policy. So Chief Harding and APD's Internal Affairs Office of Professional Standards and Accountability went back and reviewed the incident again. Based upon their professional judgment, they did not agree with the auditor's recommendation on the use of force. They maintained the determination that the use of force was within policy and was objectively reasonable. That is the administration's determination for the purposes of discipline. I've discussed the issue during the course of this process repeatedly with Chief Harding, and I did not ask him to change that determination. What I see here is that there are many people in the community who say that whether this is within policy or not, that what happened, that this use of force involving Ms. Fields is not the kind of policing we want to see. And honestly, that's how I feel too. From when I first watched the recording to standing here with you all today. At the same time, we have law enforcement professionals who are policing experts who are saying it's not a good outcome, but that it's not something prohibited by our policy. So that means, in my mind, in my judgment, that we need to do a comprehensive policy review into our use of force policy. We need to find ways to strengthen and improve that policy, to highlight the type of policing that we want to see, and to make bad outcomes like this less likely. Now, my administration has had this as a priority for some time. We talked about it at the State of the City. We readily agreed in our response to the auditor and the Oversight Board's recommendations that we needed to engage in this, and we've been working on this. We've committed to this review. In the coming weeks, we will share many more details about this process, which will be coordinated by our public safety strategist, Tony Ingram, in concert with the rest of our team. In this review, we will make sure that the Auditor's Office and the Oversight Board, as well as the public, have a role and a voice. We are looking at how other communities have navigated this process. The City of Columbus recently went through this process just in the last few months. And again, we plan to have many more details to share within the next month, particularly on how residents can share their perspective and can engage meaningfully on this topic. In my mind, this review is the way that we have lasting, meaningful change on this issue. I want us to have a real discussion as a community about what we want to see from our officers, recognizing that a lot of people feel that cases like this should be prohibited, recognizing that there are a lot of difficult cases where split-second determinations need to be made, but having those conversations as a community head on and finding a solution, coming through those difficult conversations and coming out on the other side with a policy and practices that hopefully we can all have more confidence in. I also want to directly respond to the calls for the chief to resign. I think those are misplaced. He has my full support. I believe he is the right person to lead us and lead this department to help us accomplish the change that people are demanding. I asked the chief for his best judgment on very difficult matters. That judgment is informed by his knowledge and by years of experience, and I take that very seriously. Now, policy change is not the only way to improve systems. Training is a big piece of it, and Chief Harding will have more to say on that. We are going to continue working with the Auditor's Office and the Civilian Oversight Board on responses. They have shared 6 reports so far over the last 6 months. We have responded to 3 of them so far. We are working on the next 3, and we are working to make sure that we have this dialogue and relationship that is productive. I'm sure there are going to be recommendations that we accept, as we have done so far on some of the portions. I'm sure there are going to be other times where the chief and I disagree with something that the auditor's office puts forward. I believe that this dialogue, however uncomfortable, and it is uncomfortable, is healthy and can help us improve. But we have to acknowledge that there's not always going to be agreement. Lastly, as I said, these are very difficult issues. Often these are situations that are very difficult to watch. I know there are strong feelings. I don't expect everyone to agree with me or to agree with the way that I see things.